What up, Jobins? Welcome back. Thanks for watching episode 98. Dude, we got to bring it up right away just because I'm still really bummed about it. R.I.P. to Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is so sad. Rest in peace, Anthony Rumble Johnson.
That fucking ripped through the MMA community, dude. I was always such a big fan of him because he was always like that scary looking dude. And I even remember all the time I compare him to like the scary guys from that Time Machine movie.
Oh, from the Eloy from or the Murlocs.
He just had that scare like dude
from the Time Machine.
Yeah, but then guess what? He was the sweetest soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dude, and he was nothing but respectful in losses too, and like his wars with DC. Even though I was very questioning his game plans at times.
Oh, dude, I remember when he hit DC and DC went flying like 10 feet.
He had that,
and
power.
we were like, oh, get him. I remember rooting for Rumble real bad against DC. God,
dude, seeing everyone that was like paying their respects to, like Dan Hardy, like to think about him cutting weight to fight to that level, like. You got to remember, he was a welterweight or middleweight? He was light.
Dude, he looked, he was one of those guys that just looked really scary when he was down at that weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he died from still yet. And I don't know. It's just really sad.
It is really sad.
Super young. And he did a lot of good things. When you read about all the good things he did, it's like, damn it. And I remember when he did the Quintet Ultra with Sean. I remember staying up watching that. I thought that whole team was really cool.
Just doing the grappling matches.
But he was just so scary. But then when he talked, he was so soft-spoken and so gentle and such a good person. And that's what I hate, dude. And like I was telling you, I'm still not really used to UFC fighters dying just because the sport itself hasn't been around that long. There's only a handful of fighters who have passed away that have been in the UFC.
Right.
So it's just... when these deaths happen, because here we are again, it's just a reminder that we're all human. Because it's like we think of these fighters as like these like fucking warriors, like the top of the top, healthiest motherfuckers who are fighting, and nothing can stop them. You know?
I know.
And
there's been a few fighters too that have
Elias just died, dude. Now Rumble is very sad. R.I.P. to Rumble Johnson. Well, and he, dude, yeah. I remember when he had to pull out of the Grand Prix. Was it Bellator? Or was it... Fuck, what was it? I forget. But I remember he had to pull out, and I don't know if they ever released why or something. I forget, Jobins.
It was probably... I would imagine it was related to
maybe
whatever disease that he may have had.
Yeah. So, yeah. Super sad about that. R.I.P. Yeah. Getting a little... We got to move on. Health updates. Let's give the Jobins your little health update.
Yeah, because, I passed out at the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight a little bit back ago, and then I was really concerned about my health, so I made the adult decision finally to get a primary care physician that I've been procrastinating on for a long time, and then I got some blood work done. I got an EKG for, like, my heart to see how that was beating and everything, and all my test results came, looking positive, good. So I was really relieved. It didn't look like to be any scare for like diabetes concerns or high blood pressure. So she was telling me to not be too concerned and just stay healthy. I talked about all my dietaries, so I'm going to try to work on my energy drinks because those are worse. Maybe try to drink healthier coffee too.
More water.
And
drink more water.
And then drink more water. But yeah, I looked good, and so I was just definitely really, and thanks to everyone that was asking me to feel better.
Means a lot, Jobins.
It means a lot.
Means a lot. But I'm still fucking freaking out because I'm like, well, okay, so he's just gonna pass out randomly maybe once. So I just got to be on, like, I'm still just like that worried, scarred brother.
When I explained it to her, she said that this happens, like, she's even passed out.
Really?
And then, like, Tim telling us about how his family
So in Arizona out here, people, you might pass out.
That's not exactly it.
You might pass out.
A combination of things that took effect and then resulted in that.
Damn.
And it's like, it's hard to really tell the specifics.
Well, now I'm worried about my family coming out and shit. Come visit us. You might pass out.
But like you said, it probably comes down to me not staying as hydrated as I need to.
And I think with your jiu-jitsu, all the sweating you do every week, And when we go to the sauna, your little ass is in there hanging with me.
Because it's very possible that those things contributed, and that's the reason.
Yeah.
But I don't have any like long-term like health effects that I was worried about,
Let's
or
both-
conditions, or any conditions I was worried about.
Let's go get a thing of water that we'll always drink out of and start drinking way more water.
I would love that. I think that's
Let's
a great
start holding
idea.
each other accountable for that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's what we should do.
Definitely. But thank you again, Jobins, for all just being there and like your prayers. It means the world.
And my little tumor update, Jobins. Nothing scary. I don't have like a cancer tumor or anything. Just a stupid fat tumor, fatty one. I forget the name of it already. A lymphoma or some lymphoma. No, lymphoma is the skin cancer.
Oh gosh.
Something, Joe. I already forgot. My bad. But I'm just dealing with insurance bullshit. That's super frustrating. Back and forth every week. I have to call them. And I have to retell the whole story to this person. They take down my information and they're like, okay, yeah, the insurance company will call you when they approve it. How long has it been? Speaking of how long has it been, shout out Sugar Shane, our
good
boy.
Segue.
I'm not even a watch guy, but now I'm like, I might be a watch guy now. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel. I feel naked without it.
Yeah.
Like it completes my get up for the day.
Our little Oprah, Suge Oprah. Little Suge Oprah will do it.
Yeah, you get a watch.
Yeah.
You get a watch. No, it was really sweet though.
Yeah, what happened? Where were we? So we're over at Sean's. What was he doing? What were we over there for? We were just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he comes out and he's like, hey, Jobins, I got something for us. Oh, yeah, and he gives us the grinder, the new grinder.
It was Veterans Day.
Yeah, Veterans Day. That's right. Gives us the new grinder and ashtray. And then he brings out this fucking box, Jobins, all Timex watches.
And then he opened it up and he was like, Blake, you go first. Shout out to our veteran roommate. But yeah,
it was funny how Sean always treats me with that shit. He's like, Schmitty's, this grinder is not for Schmitty's personal use, man. This is for everybody. I'm like, okay, yeah. And he's like, all right, Son will go first. He's a veteran, and then Brendan and me. It's funny. But I love him. Like,
no, it's so nice. I like the leather band.
Sean's a legend. Thank you, Sean. Sorry we're flexing him, Jobins. It's just really cool. I've never met someone like Sugar Shane before. You know what I mean? And I'm horrible at getting gifts, Jobins. I'm just that kind of guy where, like, because I'm a broke boy and, like, I just want to get to that level where I could start giving back and then I'll feel better about getting shit.
Yeah, well, I'm just always like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Now, but I'm like, well, if someone ever comes at you, I'm throwing myself in front of you. Like, I might die for you, dude. What do I got to do? I'll do it.
No, it was a very sweet gift.
I know. Yeah. All right.
Damn.
Thank you, Sugar Shane. You're a fucking legend, Jobin. And then we might go to Vegas. Stay tuned. We'll see.
That would be epic.
It'd be fucking epic. We'll see. Fingers crossed. We'll talk about that more when time comes, Jobin. Stay tuned. I got a little crazy bitch sandwich story for you that I never told you. Because Jobins, we've been busy. We're going to do a little UFC 281 recap here in a little bit too. I know we're a little late on that. We had a busy week this week after the fights and shit. And time just got away from us. So we'll finally get to talking to that. But I never got to tell you the sandwich story.
I'm listening. What's the sandwich story?
I should start doing like a bitch story of the week. Because of the way the rates this shit's going, I could probably do it once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah. So we have this new girl in our department who's come over and she's still learning everything in the deli department. And this lady with an accent, I kind of forget. It wasn't a familiar one. Heavy, you know what I mean?
Like, do you think it was European?
It was some European. Had to have been. Probably right. But yeah, it was something that I was like, okay. And I'm listening, you know what I mean? Because me and Sean are doing something. My buddy Sean from Sprouts, not Sugar Shane. We're doing stuff, and I'm listening. And this lady's telling her, oh, more mayonnaise, more mayonnaise. Oh, no, that's too much. And then you look at the sandwich when we came over, because she starts freaking out. She's like, guys, I want someone else to make my sandwich. Not her. No, someone else make my sandwich now. And she's like freaking out and shit. And Sean's the one talking to her, and he's like, you don't want her to make her sandwich? Like, he's kind of funny sometimes with the way he handles customers, and I love it. I kind of just sit back. And I looked at the sandwich, and yeah, it was just a shitload of mayonnaise.
Why so much mayonnaise?
A shitload. I don't know.
Like an unreasonable amount, huh?
Unreasonable amount of mayonnaise. But wait, the story gets thicker. So I get put on to make the sandwich because I'm the fastest sandwich maker compared to Sean and shit. He's like, all right, Ricky's going to remake your sandwich for you, right? So I'm remaking the sandwich for her. And Jobins, sometimes people are like this. you want to come to Sprouts and me make you a sandwich, you order your sandwich and you go away. You go look at some shit. Don't breathe down my neck and watch me make your sandwich. We hate that. Everyone hates it. You know what I mean? And a lot of customers will do that. Or they'll go off and wait to the side and be on their phone, looking at their phone. That's cool too. You know what I mean? But then there's some customers who don't even want to fill out the form. They want to tell you play by play on how to make their sandwich. When we got a whole bunch of other sandwiches to make and we need to make them real quick, that's why we have the sheet. There's a reason why we have an order sheet.
Right. Why do people assume that they can make the rules up at a place that
I
they don't
know.
work at? They don't know anything about the policies.
Oh, and they'll get like this. Oh, I can't just tell you. I have to write it down. Yes, sir. I got 5 sandwiches in front of you, and we're going here, sir. Yes. Yes. Fill out the fucking form. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. Fill out the damn form.
Yeah. So here's this lady is, and now I'm suffering. And guess what? I'm like, okay, how much mayonnaise you want? You tell me. I do a lap. A little more. I do another lap. Oh, and she's telling me that she's giving me these weird directions at first before I put the mayonnaise on about like the sides. I want it on this side and this on that side. I'm like, okay, let's start. And then that's when I do it. And then she's like, more. And I'm like, okay.
So she ordered a lot.
Yeah. And now it's coming to me. I'm like, why were you freaking out on my colleague about mayonnaise when you want me to put on this much fucking mayonnaise? And now I'm thinking in my head, okay, maybe she didn't want it on the other side because now I've put an extreme amount of fucking mayonnaise on this fucking bread. Maybe she just wants it on this side. No, she wanted the same amount on the other side too. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then she fucking guides me through step by step, precise amount of all this shit that she wants on this sandwich, right?
Right.
And she's and talking to me. She's giving me all this spiel about shit, this, that. Oh, and then thanking me at the same time, kind of aggressively thanking me about being a better sandwich maker, I guess. You know what I mean?
Oh, she was thanking you?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. While I'm making it right, it's going to get even worse here in a second, Jobins. Just wait. So then we got to, so then she wants it toasted, right? So I put it on the toaster. It takes a while to toast our sandwiches. You know what I mean? So I'm standing there toasting. She starts yelling at me. She's like, how come I have time? I have to be somewhere. I got to go. My sandwich. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, it takes a while to toast, ma'am. And I looked up and it was decent enough toasted. She's in a hurry. It's a decent amount of toasted where I'm like, okay, that's good enough. You know what I mean? So I take it to her and I'm like, okay, is that good? No, I want it toasted. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is where it gets funny. Fucking, we always have the Ecolab people come out. I'll come to work and shit that we use. Well, one day, just every week, one item's gone that was useful and handy. And now it's gone. And my life now becomes harder with my job because I don't have anything like that anymore. And I got to fucking work my way around to find something to help me do what that fucking item did. Mm-hmm. If that made any sense, Jobins.
What was the item that you were missing?
We had a huge, our sandwiches are big. We need a big spatula.
They are big sandwiches.
They're big sandwiches. We had a big, giant spatula. Because the plastic tip, they're at the end, like people probably hit it or something, or drop it or something. Mm-hmm. The plastic looked a little
safety concern.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the plastic was a little dented up.
There shouldn't even be plastic on the end of it then, huh?
It's like a metallic plastic. You know what I mean? Like a handle.
Okay.
So it's kind of like bent, like kind of. It's probably been used for a long time. You know what I mean? It's seen some days. But it was a big, fat, wide spatula. We got this, and now that we're using this fucking thin dick fucking spatula, right?
You have to go to the side then, I guess?
No, you just gotta, and Sean's telling, after, I'll get to that, you just gotta fucking hold it with it and guide it over to the thing, right? Because guess what happened, Jobins? We'll get back to it. Toast my sandwich, make it more toasted, I'm hurrying, I'm fat, and I'm like, okay, I dropped the sandwich.
Oh, no.
I dropped the sandwich.
She must have flipped.
She didn't even see that I had dropped it at first. And then I'm looking at Sean. I just stand there. And I'm looking at Sean and I'm like, I don't know why this just happened to me. God hates me. And he's looking down at the floor at the sandwich and he's just shaking his head. And I'm like, motherfucker. In my head, I'm like, this couldn't have been the worst person to happen to. And so I was like, I put my head down. I'm like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I have to remake your sandwich. And then so I put my head down and I just walked to go grab another loaf of sourdough in the bag. And she starts freaking out. Colin's there, right? And she starts freaking out as I'm walking to go get the loaf. And I look at Colin because he's in the back. I'm like, Colin, I need help. This is screwed. And I tell him real quick. I go, and I tell him the rundown real quick, and then he goes over, and then she started being rude to him, and he's like, and telling her that we need to respect her, all this shit, and then he's like, and then he was gonna make her sandwich and give it to her for free, and then she didn't want him to make the sandwich. She wanted our older woman. Oh God, they're gonna freak out if they hear me say that. I'm so sorry. Our senior deli lady, Rennie, who was on break because she had been there and she was ready to go on break. Mm-hmm. And he's like, she's past her work hours right now. She's literally on break right now. And she was wanting her to make the sandwich. Yeah. And he's like, I will make the sandwich for you and give it to you for. She storms off. And then one of my employees was like, man, you guys really pissed her off. She was pacing back and forth in the aisles. I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Get over it, lady.
Yeah. It was quite the scene, Jobins. That was my bitch story of the week. And I know I fucked up dropping the sandwich. And guess what? The following day, I dropped someone else's sandwich. But thank God it was an elderly lady. And she was, oh, it's okay. Things happen. She's like, I got all the time in the world. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I'm never fucking using this fucking spatula again. I'm like, I don't want it anymore. Never. And that's when Sean's like, dude, you just got to pick it up with your hand. This is a press oven, Jobins. A sandwich presser fucking oven. And he's telling me, he's like, you just got to pick it up with your hands, man. It's hot, but it don't hurt. Sure enough, a couple hours later, he's picking a sandwich up off with his hands. He goes, ah, and he sets it down. I go, oh, it doesn't hurt. And
he was like, it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like, you just got to be a man. And then I'm like, I don't want to fuck up my nice soft hands, baby. I got these nice soft gentle hands. But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I kind of went on a rant there.
No, people just need to be more respectful in those areas, you know, and like not assume that they know everything that goes into the operations of a business.
Right? Oh, and apparently it's just going to get worse because of the holidays and everyone turns into a giant asshole, apparently. I'm getting this coming week is like going to be World War III.
I'm interested to see how spending goes on Thanksgiving. There's been so much going on in the economy.
Dude, Sprouts is so expensive and people buy, it's so many people. We can't keep chicken on the shelf. Shit's flying, and it's like $10 a box.
Jeez.
And it's just fly. It's like they're still alive, flying, dude. Yeah, it's interesting. The grocery market, and it's real interesting because the price difference between Sprouts and Fry's is crazy. And then there's even another place that one of my friends were talking about at work where you can shop, and her daughter got like $150 worth of groceries for $50. I was like,
the other grocery store place is Safeway. That's a big one here.
That was it. Safeway. That was it.
Yeah, Safeway and Fry's are kind of like the Schnucks and Shop and Saves.
Maybe we need to go check out
where
Safeway.
We're from.
Maybe we need to go check out a Safeway around here. Might be the way. But yeah.
Damn.
Oh, don't make any bad jokes to rappers. They might shoot you.
Ooh, what are you talking about? Who got shot again now?
Blueface. He was shooting at people.
Oh my gosh!
He was shooting at people as they were driving.
The attempted murder thing going on right
apparently
now.
A guy made fun of him for taking some chicks into a cheap car, and it done pissed him off, and he went pop, 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 pop. Come on, guys.
That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. Who knows what else he's dealing with, and then that was the one thing that just sent him over.
He's like, that's it. Someone's gonna die today over a bad joke, dude. So yeah, just don't. The moral of this story is, Jobins, don't open your mouth if you're not prepared to die.
Yeah, and anyone with a tattoo on their face, named Blueface,
don't fuck around.
Busting down Tatianas, you better just not talk shit to him.
Yep. So we'll see where that goes. I want to talk to you real quick before we go back into the UFC 281 recap. The Line, Jobins. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about The Line? I'm a couple months behind.
The Line?
The Line, Jobins. Look it up. It's a city that's being built in Saudi Arabia in like the Neon Tabuk province. Sorry about that. Apparently it's going to stretch across the northwest part near the Red Sea.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a linear city. So it's like futuristic, dude. Insane. It's gonna be here. I'll get into it.
Ooh, this is like some sci-fi future stuff.
It's a linear city, mirror walls. So the outside part are mirrors that reflect the surrounding elements of the fucking earth, which is crazy because it looks really cool. You know what I mean? It's designed to have no cars, streets, or carbon emissions. It's gonna cost $500 billion to create.
500 billion?
500 billion. 170 kilometers long, which is 110 miles long. But then I also saw this other thing where it's like they were talking about 13 miles long. And then I kept looking shit up. I'm like, no, most of it's saying 170 kilometers, which is 110 miles. But then I kept seeing something about 13 miles. Maybe you, Jobins, know. Put it in the comments.
The line. This is crazy.
Yeah. And it's going to be 500 meters high, which is higher than most skyscrapers. It's pretty fucking tall. It's going to create, apparently, 460,000 jobs. It's going to add 48 billion to the country's GDP, which is the value of the country.
Mm-hmm. It's gross domestic product.
Yeah, you're smarter than me, but that was to you, Jobins, who didn't know, like me. It's big enough to house 9 million people. It's vertically layered homes, offices, parks, and public schools. Year-round climate control, all indoor and outdoor spaces. High-speed rails that will transport residents from end to end in 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes and 110 miles?
Yeah. 5-minute walk to all amenities, wherever you are. Accessibility to parks and natural elements within a 2-minute walk. Along with the line, they have projects to build a network of airports, the world's largest green energy plant, and they're trying to become self-sufficient. They're gonna go by the Neomians rather than the Saudis.
You know what scares me about what you're saying is I feel like it's a way for the upper class to further segregate themselves away from the poor.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be like, oh, we have our own self-sustaining community where we don't have to be bothered by the dregs of society, the homeless that litter the streets. That's how I'm taking it personally. I'm like, it's scaring me.
Yeah.
Thinking about this.
Oh, dude,
it's like
futuristic.
Elysium, you know, with Matt Damon, and he has to fly up to try to get there.
Or that
That's place.
Your Dread movie, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a tower where all the people are living?
But that one was still bad.
Yeah,
Elysium's like it's heavenly up top, and he's in the bad spot.
So the science behind it is fascinating.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
fascinating.
That's
so
crazy.
The reason why they want to do this is so like, you know how our big cities in the world are so big? Like if you look at New York, they're like huge countries within themselves with all the buildings and shit and how much space they take up. Mm-hmm. And how much the natural lands they use. With this line, they're using less land, so it's saving all the land and everything, and it's built up and everything. Like, dude, layering.
They're building upwards?
Dude, it's like some Harry Potter fucking shit with the way that one place where all the stairs are going up and it's all layered, moving and shit. And there's going to apparently be robots there.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's so futuristic, Jobins. Go look it up. It's insane. It's insane. But the science part about it's really cool because, save the earth type shit. And I'm like, man, I wonder, because then we can totally go down a dark rabbit hole about this. Like movies that think about how, is that going to be dangerous? How safe is it going to be in there? Is it going to be super controlled? How controlled is it? There's so much
structural integrity of the whole project.
But the fact that the science behind all of it was really cool to learn. And they got some kind of they're starting construction already. And apparently there's going to be the underground part of it is the transport part where a shuttle will take you and zoom your ass down to the fucking
end. Said 20 minutes.
Yeah. But here's the thing too that's also interesting with everything, Jobins. There's been so many huge projects throughout the world, even in our own country, where they're like planned to have things like that. And then technical issues happen where costs become too much. Like I was watching this video on YouTube that was talking about them all. And there was this one project where we were doing something with like atoms and shit, like a nuclear atom shit. They had to be this big giant circle underground that was massive, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
It's an article accelerator or something. Something. It was crazy.
And then it so much controversy, and then they said it was going to only cost this much, and then as time kept going on, the prices kept going up and up and up and up, and then they fucking said fuck all that, we're shutting it down. And now it's still there, the part that's built, because they built a quarter of it, of a circle almost,
right?
And it's just still there, filled with water to preserve it in case something were to happen in the future. But then there's places like that also all around the world. Like China has gigantic ass cities that they were building. Ghost cities that were supposed to have plans to do things that fall apart. So it's like, is that going to be something? Or is this going to be fucking crazy? And if you're rich enough, would you live there? If you're JB and you're like, you know what? I've had enough of America. I want to go live in the line.
And the amenities and everything that's within walking distance, 5 minutes.
Insane.
That's a lot of promises to keep.
You know, Abu Dhabi.
Mm-hmm.
You know how apparently there it's so crazy. You know what I mean? Because these are oil people who fucking knows billionaires doing this shit, right? And they're so futuristic about it, dude. Can you imagine? It's gonna be way crazier than Abu Dhabi. It's like Abu Dhabi 2.0, and it's gonna be aligned. Jobins, let us know what you think in the comments. Would you live if you were rich enough? You're fucking Oprah. You're JB. You're Sean O'Malley. Do you go live on the fucking line?
I wouldn't live on the line.
You wouldn't live in the line?
Mm-mm.
What if, dude? I think once
I'm like, who's the enforcement? Who's the police force?
I know. I'm gonna show
me.
you the video because I wanted to wait. I wanted to hear your reactions on the pod. I like that sometimes.
Yeah, no, I would love to do some research on that because I'd love to know how it's going to increase their GDP. Like, because gross domestic product, that's like imports, exports. Like, they're importing more.
Well, no, they're going to be self-sufficient. They're trying to not rely on anybody, like how everything is. Dude, shit. War is, Jobins, I try not to look at the shit going on in the world right now because we might not, I don't know. Some shit might be about to happen because you got Saudi Arabia. Are they not the oil guys?
I mean, they're one of the oil guys.
They're one of the oil guys, right? Then they're kind of saying, you know what? Fuck all you guys. We're just going to do us and sustain on us, and we don't need you. Like when you're at work and you got your group and then one guy quits and you're like, oh, fuck, one guy quit. And then a couple more quit because and then it just starts a quitting trend. You don't think that's going to happen with this?
The only thing that would be a challenge would be
if it's successful,
military backing, because they'd probably have to rely on like private security forces.
Oh, right. And what if someone blows that bitch up? Some other country's like, fuck your wall.
But if they could,
fuck your line.
Potentially, if they could hire an army of professional soldiers and have like grade A weapons and like jets and stuff and drones,
they need to get some Elon Musk shit. Put a shield around this line. Put a shield around this line. If you could put a fucking shield like Simpsons Dome type shit,
or like Star Wars with the shield bubble.
Yeah, dude, the future's gonna be crazy. But yeah, and who knows how long this shit's even gonna take?
Yeah,
there was I was reading some people say it could take up to 50 years. So it's like we might not even see it in our lifetime.
I wonder if they'll use a different type of currency.
Right? Oh, dude.
They're gonna go digital on their currency, or are they gonna keep it paper money?
Yeah. Just crazy shit. Oh, and did you see? I feel bad about NFTs. I feel guilty a little.
What? There's no way you could have predicted everything going on in the crypto market right now.
Oh, I know, but I was just one of those guys when Sean dropped his NFT. I was telling all my friends, "Oh, get an NFT." But Sean's are cool still. I like Sean's NFTs because he gives free shit away for having one. So that's kind of worth it. You know what I mean?
I would recommend everyone like hold on to their NFTs they have right now because I think it's just going to take a few years for the market to correct with all the controversy surrounding.
There's so much going on.
FTX.
Like what? Well, did you hear about Mark Zuckerberg?
What did Mark Zuckerberg do?
He fired 11,000 employees.
Oh yeah, and the layoffs.
He put that. I liked how he sent the email out. It was so like heartfelt, but not heartfelt. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to be
saving face here.
Yeah. I had to let go 11,000 of my very talented employees. Now maybe actually, and they are talented, but I just don't feel it. I'm sorry, Mark. I don't feel that. I don't feel the love, bro. Do you really feel like that, or is it nothing to you? Probably nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, if you were like, come on, those people should realize how like stable that job security is because he's making crazy moves. Like when your company that you're working for is investing billions in the meta, like you should think, hey, my job might be at stake here.
He spent $15 billion on the metaverse, and then he was saying that he kind of felt like he jumped the gun because he thought it was still going to be hot after the pandemic. Damn. But it wasn't.
Well, his shit's dependent again. This all goes back to that craziness happening right now.
Yeah, but they did still get like their pensions or whatever it is. They're still gonna get like a certain amount of money and shit and insurance for a while. But I was like, damn, that's tough. Imagine getting that job, being excited about the metaverse, being told this awesome idea, and you're fucking excited and you're talented, you're really good at what you're doing, and then you get that fucking email. That'd be tough.
Think about if you were being told by several different financial influencers who have millions of subscribers to freaking put money into FTX and then you lose your money.
Ugh.
And then you're like, dude, there's so many people that have been misled by like people that they claim to be financial experts. It's ridiculous.
You're right about that movie. That movie should be made about what you were showing me last
Sam
night.
Bankman-Fried is a freaking fraud, dude. And he was using people's money, putting it into his Almeida investment firm, and he left himself overexposed in this market. And then like all the money is gone. And now
This guy's not going to come after us with these accusations, or are these?
You know what's?
Are they accusations, or have they been proven?
This really happened.
Has it been proven?
Yeah.
Is he in like?
No, he's probably gonna get away with a slap on the wrist, because you take a risk when you invest. That's the thing. The worst part though is like he's getting bailed out, even though he's losing his fortune and his net worth. He's still like used all those people's money to pay off the debt that he owed, because he was getting loans out to invest in all these assets that crashed because the crypto market crashed. And then he's bankrupt, and that company's bankrupt. He gets paid out. Who's going to pay those customers? Because those customers' funds are what paid him out. Who pays those guys back? Nobody. That's the process of liquidation has fucked everybody that was in there.
I feel really bad for all the people.
And now no one, and the worst part is that it hurts the whole crypto market because no one has trust in crypto anymore. How do you trust crypto when the golden boy of crypto is...
That's almost like Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan, because remember he would make people think that they're investing, right?
Dude, it's exactly like what happened in 2008 with the housing market, and in that margin call movie I showed you, where it's like they invested all the money and left themselves overexposed by putting it all in those mortgage bonds that failed. He did the same thing. He put all of it in he is a crypto exchange, but like all the money's gone on bad investments, and then your customers are out. They're the ones that are paying the bill. And on top of that, the customers were even led to believe all these things were positive because of these financial influencers who are basically just the worst sellouts ever. Andre Jick, Stephen Graham. I'm going to say their names.
It's all
because you guys should be doing way more apology videos than you are.
Jordan Belfort was talking about that, dude.
And he was. You're right.
Remember, he said it leaves a trail. He's like, dude, things that we would make sure we're whispering and that nothing was around. He's like, these people are leaving trails.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. There needs to be a movie about all this shit. We got to start writing. We got to write the screenplay. We got to find the actors. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Who's down, Jobins?
It's bullshit.
Yeah. We can go on forever about that, huh?
Mm-hmm. I could have a whole nother hour to talk about. That's enough. That's the basics. That's what's happened.
Yeah. Ooh, Jobins, we watched that on Netflix. Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Ooh, that was good.
What a crazy thing, dude. At first I'm like, oh man, this guy's just a crazy idiot, wild man. But then after the way that Pepsi was handling everything, I'm like, yeah, fuck Pepsi, go get him. Mm-hmm. We have what, one episode left?
Yeah, we got to finish that.
We got to finish
by the end
it.
of the weekend.
Super interesting though, Jobins. This Pepsi fucked up and didn't put a fine print at the end about this being a fucking joke.
A Harrier jet worth $32 million. It only cost $700,000 to get the 7 million points that you need, the 7 million Pepsi points, because 10 cents each. Dude, what a show!
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
Oh my god,
it was cool. I like stories like that. Those wild stories that you just don't. It's been so long since this happened. I never heard about it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It's one of those legal stories too,
Yeah.
So it's like those corporate lawyers are sharks.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're sharks, and they had Michael Avenatti on it.
Yeah.
Who is all the extortion charges and stuff.
They showed that Pete Davidson part of him, I was like, dude, Pete's funny.
What did he say? He's like, what crime can I make up now?
yeah, dude. No wonder Pete gets all the puss, man. God, I just need to get thin, dude.
Dude, but the way that Michael Avenatti talked about the other lawyer and how like he didn't know what he was doing at all, and he was just a student at that time. Those corporate lawyers are next level killers.
Oh yeah, they're saving their own asses. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, they're trying to fuck us. Well, we're gonna fuck them.
Yeah, they sued him. Oh, dude, yeah, gotta watch
it, Jobins. Go check it out. What else we watch? What else you got?
Ooh, what else did we have? This show. Shout out to Sono's, our roommate, his buddy Andrew, who came over for a little bit. He showed us this show called Love After Lockup. It has 4 seasons on WeTV. It's one of those trash reality shows that's like a guilty pleasure. But these inmates, they find love in like prison, and then when they get out of prison, these cameras follow them while they get back into society and like get in relationships with these people that they were talking to. And one of the guys, funny enough, his name's Rick. He's like 49, and he gets a girl that's 29. And then he was talking to her before he went in the prison, and then she got married in prison to a chick, comes back, and then they're like FaceTiming during Thanksgiving dinner with his family and the girl that he's with. Oh, it's so awkward and cringy. How much of it is real, I don't know. But that is another show that I watch, Love After Lockup. It is very guilty pleasure-ish, like Jersey Shore.
I'll have to watch an episode. I didn't watch it with you guys.
Yeah, this one guy's like, oh, he hit me, and he gets knocked out. I'm like, is that real? Probably not. I don't know.
When I watch shows like that, I'm like, damn, these people can find love. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? All right, but yeah, that's cool. Let's do our UFC 281 recap before our shit is over, blood. Jobins, what a night of fights, right?
Oh my gosh,
they were
crazy.
That was one of those nights. Every fight. We had a couple really good knockouts in the early prelims. Carlos Ulberg, Mike Trizano's knockout, and then Steamroller. Wow, did he prove me wrong? Some people really proved me wrong this past Saturday.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking.
I really ate my words with some people.
It started off with a bang with Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah.
Knocking out that
first
guy.
round.
Dude,
all first rounds, dude, that were knockouts.
Carlos Ulberg's the same size as Izzy. I'm like, dude, sometimes I'm wondering that competition in the gym, especially if Carlos keeps looking good. Like, watch out, Izzy. Your own boy might be knocking you out one day.
Yeah, true. I'm impressed with Steamroller. He got me.
Matt Frivola.
Yeah, dude, he got me on that one.
Yeah, he lost me my freaking parlay.
Dude, knocked him the fuck out. That was a huge win.
Yeah, he beat Otman Azatar in the first
round. That was big. That guy was coming up.
He clipped him.
And like I was saying, like, I don't know. Before the fight, I was when we were watching live, I was like, "Ooh, man, he's only lost to really good people." But then he did that. I'm like, "Okay, let's see what's next." On the fucking prelims, only one fight went to decision again, dude.
I know, dude. I was so sad because Andre Petrosky beat Wellington Turman. Wellington Turman's the guy that I said on the last pod
you ate your words
that he was going to be champion in the next 2 years.
He can come back.
Let's stamp it. I'm hoping it still happens.
He's what, 24?
Yeah,
25?
But he needs to
He's still young.
Mix his game up more because when he couldn't get his jiu-jitsu down and he got wrestled out by the guy. Remember, the guy out-wrestled him.
Yep.
And he only had a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, the wrestler.
Yep.
But since he had that wrestling edge, it made the difference.
Yeah.
So Wellington, good luck, man. I hope you.
How about Aaron Blanchfield? Just fucking easy work on Molly, dude.
Oh my god.
I felt bad. I was like, damn, Molly. Now, I think we shouldn't take away like, oh, Molly sucks or anything.
No, right.
Because I just think that's how good Aaron is. I think we might finally see a contender here. But Valentina's so good.
You know what hurts though is how she did it. Because a crucifix like that is such a dominant bully position. I don't know how you feel about it, Jobins, but when I see that, it calls back to me. BJ Penn getting absolutely smacked down by Matt Hughes in that fight they had.
I felt bad for Molly though, but I respect Molly because she's going out and fighting the best. And sometimes you just catch those people who are coming up. We don't know it yet, and it happens.
Aaron looked really good, and she's young, like you were saying.
Yeah.
She could be a champ too. The way she's been performing.
Yeah. I'd like to see her fight again when Patty's fighting. Come on, Molly. I think that's a good energy that brings with them.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because was Patty even there? Patty wasn't there. Yeah.
Well, man, I'm like worried about him too at the same because he's got to be his best.
Oh yeah,
we saw what happened to Molly.
Yeah, we got to hurry up and do a predictions for that. That next UFC pay-per-view card is fire. Tonight's fights are fire. Sorry, we'll do a little prediction real quick. We'll try to. I just wanted to cover it because they were so good. And then Ryan Spann knockout of fucking Dominic Reyes, dude.
Yeah.
I told you on that one. That one was the one I told you. I was like, oh, I felt it. So I'm really excited to see who Ryan Spann fight next.
Yeah, he's got that knockout power.
Yeah.
But poor Dominic Reyes.
I know,
dude. He's been fighting all tough guys, though. I'm not saying that he's lost to any chumps by any means.
Yeah. No, not at all. I did feel bad for him. But I was like, at the same time, I was pumped for Ryan Spann because I like Ryan Spann.
Yeah.
That was a good win.
Dude, and right after that, Renato Moicano submitted Brad Riddell.
Dude.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. I think I picked Brad Riddle on that one. Too. Yeah, I was a silly bitch. And then I loved Moicano's speech after. It was he was so fired up. And I love when he was like, Moicano wants money. Dude, that was good. That was good. I'm very excited to see who he fights next. I ate my words with that one. Sorry, Renato. Main card. Now, Dan Hooker. I liked what he said. I'm dangerous when I'm happy. I felt it. When he said that, I actually felt it. And I'm sorry, Dan Hooker, because in the last pod, I was counting you the fuck out. But then when you look at who he's only lost to the really good people. Arnold Allen, Islam, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier. Those are his last 4 losses. Everyone else he does pretty good. I was looking at like, okay, who's next for Dan Hooker? The lightweight division right now is actually fucking stacked. It's really stacked.
I feel like that could count against him saying stuff like, dude, that he's dangerous when he's happy. You should be dangerous at all times. Because that goes with that whole thing that Sean says about discipline. Like, you got to be disciplined even when you don't want to go in.
That's true.
So even when you're not happy, you better still be dangerous.
That's true.
Like, for you to rely on happiness to be the best, that concerns me a little bit. That there could be a lot more opportunities for you to get caught compared to other people who are mentally more strong. Not saying you're not mentally strong, but that shows me a little bit of a hole there, possibly.
You're right.
With like, hey, he needs to be. We got to rely on him being in a good mood for this.
Yeah. Like with my weight loss, for example, when I was at my heaviest and I saw that photo, I was like, oh my God, It hit me. You know what I mean? I was like, I need to change. And then all my friends were motivating me and everything. And I used it as motivation. I was unhappy with my weight.
But so it does work still.
Yeah.
It still has definitely.
Yeah, I was unhappy, but I used that unhappiness. Mm-hmm. Because you got a good point. If Dan Hooker, because he was dealing with quarantine, he was dealing with not seeing his family. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of things. And you're right. That should have been motivation. But look who you're at the same time.
Look who you're fighting.
Look who you're fighting and losing to, Mr. Dan Hooker. So, I just really kind of felt it, though, when he said that. I'm dangerous when I'm happy. Mm. And maybe that was just him being super confident in how good he felt. He felt good getting that win. He needed it. But, dude, I'm looking like, who the fuck is next? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are on some win streaks. Some people that are, like, just lost recently that were on good win streaks. So it's like, does he fight someone that's just won a fight? Does he fight someone that just lost a fight? I was thinking, there's a couple other people. I'm like, oh, Drakkar. But then, guess what? Drakar's he's recovering right now. Mm-hmm. So I was like, damn, because Dan Hooker.
That would be nice.
That would be a fight, dude. And I would love for Drakkar to get that opportunity.
Knock him out.
Right? And Dan Hooker likes to scrap. Drakkar likes to scrap. I feel like if Drakkar was healthy and they wanted that, I feel like Dan Hooker would sign the line. But I'm like, damn, he's recovering.
That would be
now.
fire.
Then another one. Hear me out on this one. Gregor Gillespie. But he's a wrestler, but he's a smaller guy. I feel like Dan Hooker would have it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's a good fight for Gregor.
You know, and I think Gregor is ranked higher. So it's like, would Gregor take that lower? Dan Hooker, who's ranked less, farther behind? Probably not. Then I was thinking Drew Dober.
Ooh, I feel like that's the fight to make.
Dan Hooker, Drew Dober.
Yeah.
And I forget one fight. I forget off the top of my head, Jobins. I should have wrote it down. I don't know if Drew Dober's coming off a win or a loss. He might be coming off a loss. Maybe he's coming off.
I know he beat Anthony or McKinney
just recently.
I don't know if that was his last fight though, but that was an impressive because he was coming up, Mm-hmm. And so him to stop him was really impressive. Yeah. I think he'd still be a good fight with Dan Hooker. I don't know if he won or lost the last fight. That's something.
So Dan Hooker is really tough to who the fuck is next? You know what I mean? Who the fuck's next for Mr. Dan Hooker?
Go to the next one.
Yeah,
brutal. Where'd I go? Frankie Edgar, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Taking that knee up the middle to Chris Gutierrez.
I knew that one was going to happen, dude.
I didn't know it was going to happen like that.
And it's crazy. It was almost identical to whose?
Corey Sandhagen.
It was fucking Frankie.
And he took a kick to the face from Cheeto, too.
Yeah, dude. And it's tough because, they're showing all that cool video parts before he comes out and fights. And even in the prelim times, they're talking about him. Dude, he's been there. Mm-hmm. He's been all right. Frankie Edgar was one of my favorites back in the day. It was Anderson, GSP, Frankie. You know what I mean?
He was a bantamweight fighting as a lightweight before there was even his weight class available to him, and he was champion.
Those were good times. So yeah, it's really tough seeing a warrior like Frankie Edgar, legend of the sport. Always hard seeing him go out like that.
Yeah, but hey, at least we know that he's done now, and I don't want to see him get hit again.
If he's okay and he can talk good, Frankie, get into the commentary. Get Frankie Edgar behind them fucking cameras. Mm-hmm. It's time, baby. But who knows? Maybe he doesn't like doing that shit.
That was quite the fight by Chris, though. Good job on Chris Gutierrez still. I don't want to take away from his performance, though.
He's got to get maybe a top 5-er?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Dustin fucking dude.
That was fight of the night.
That was fight of the night. We knew that one was coming. Dude, that's going to be one of those, I think that'll be in the Hall of Fame fights. I think that'll be a Hall of Famer fight.
They put it all out there.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Can you and then the funny part was Dustin talking about all the dirty shit Chandler was apparently doing when he was blowing that blood on him. And then Chandler's like, oh, I didn't invent gravity. But it's like, I get it. I'd do it too, right? Guys below me, and I got to breathe. My nose is gushing. You got to do what you got to do,
I'd
right?
be upset if he didn't try to do that shit to me because I know he's not trying 100% like he usually does. I'd be like, this is Michael Chandler doing his best. That's why Dustin should take away from it. It's like, yeah, he's a dirty fuck, but he wouldn't be fighting me at his best if he wasn't doing dirty moves.
Oh, yeah.
So I took out the best Michael Chandler.
Yeah, and that doesn't take anything away from that fight. Anything.
Damn. And then it was like Michael Chandler almost rear naked choked Dustin first.
Right?
I think Michael Chandler was going to win that fight, I think. If he could have stayed on top at the third round instead of giving up and going too high and getting turned over and getting wrecked, he could have won that fight.
Crazy. I didn't think Dustin was going to get the submission. I didn't think that was going to happen.
As soon as he was on him, though,
yeah. Oh,
then
wow.
I was like, okay.
And kind of good for Dustin. Good for Dustin to survive that after having it happen so many times and then being able to get it himself. Good for you. And then it's like, ooh, who's next for Dustin? Who did I write?
Who does Dustin fight next?
Oh, because they're already talking about it. Beneil Dariush. And he says he doesn't want it.
That makes sense. I wouldn't want that. Beneil is
But, dude, Beneil.
Oh,
but
dude.
Dustin, now we got Islam versus Alex, kind of holds up both his division and this one when there's a lot going on in both of them. So it's tough because Beneil deserves it. Beneil deserves the next, like
He does,
and it even makes sense to like, okay, do this fight because this massive fight's happening between Alex and fucking Islam.
Well, if Dustin's really about it, he'll accept the fight, right?
Right? Because I just think that's the fight to make.
That's a scary fight for Dustin.
Oh yeah, because Beneil's got hands and he's got the wrestling.
Yeah,
which I think is fun.
He looked really good.
And yeah, if I'm Dustin Poirier, I don't want that fight. He's saying things like, "Oh no, that one would be kind of boring. That's not the one I'm after."
Isn't that who Beneil? Didn't Beneil beat Gamrot last?
I think so.
Whose freaking cardio is ridiculous. I was like, Gamrot's gonna be a top contender. No, he got beat by Beneil, dude. Dustin should never take that fight. Honestly, looking back at it, Dustin, you get blown out of the water. You got to catch him, luckily, because he's gonna grapple him and take him down. And
thank you guys for that. Thank you to those warriors for that fight. That was one of those fights that reminds you just how beautiful the sport is. It's insane. Yeah, Wei Li dominated fucking Carla. Yeah, wrong on that one too. She looked massive in there. Yeah. So what are we doing? Say?
She picked Francis Ngannou up.
What are we doing, Wei Li? Fight Valentina. What are we doing right now? Because other than that, Amanda Lemos, who's on a good win streak right now. Well, she's number 4.
Where's Rose coming into the picture? You got to give.
Does she even want to fight?
She knocked Wei Li out.
But Rose don't even want to fight. What's going on?
I know.
And she just lost. So she's losing. Amanda's winning. Number 4.
That loss was so controversial because they were like both. Everyone that watched the fight was a loser.
I think, okay, fine. Do a super fight, Valentina, Wei Li, and then do a fight with Amanda versus Rose for the number 1 contender.
I think Erin Blanchfield is going to be the future champ of the.
Ooh, Erin Blanchfield versus
division.
Amanda. Maybe that's the fight.
She's going to take Rose out too, maybe.
Yeah, because the coin's still flipping up in the air about Rose, dude. So who even knows?
Damn. That's a shame, dude.
That was domination. All right, Alex Pereira. Dude, what did Usman, Izzy, and Francis Ngannou do? What did they open in Africa? What tomb did they go in and fuck around in? Because, dude, Francis, look the fuck out, bro. And what a year, first off. You got Yuri and Glover that we rewatched last night, where Yuri just slips that fucking choke in on Glover, dude. 5th round. Then you got Usman getting knocked out in the 5th round. And now you got Izzy getting beat in the 5th round. It's just it's been a crazy year. And if they open some jar or fucked around with something, you guys need to go put that shit back immediately. Like some pirates, if you took some coins or something.
Yeah.
Because save Francis, put it back, save Francis, and then you guys can all come back. Winning the fights, Izzy was right there for a unanimous decision win.
Yeah.
Same thing with Usman.
Kamaru Usman.
I don't think unanimous with Glover, maybe. Maybe split or something. I don't know.
Usman's was worse because he got clean knocked out.
Clipped, dude.
Izzy did get.
Yeah.
That was a good stoppage still.
It was a good stoppage. And you know, it sucks because I've been there, Jobins. Been watching the sport for so long where I've been there. Where I'm like, man, he should have gave him more time. He's been like, he can hold on. He can be there. And it is tough when you think about it. Even for a guy who's not the biggest Izzy fan, it is tough. He's going to win by decision in how much time?
Mm-hmm.
Not that much time left. And he's still there. And right away, he's pissed. You know, so he was still there a little. Yes, literally, the ref is there to save your life. That's what people need to understand. The ref is there to save your life. We don't need, yes, as a fan, yes, as a warrior, you want to go out. You know what I mean? If you're still there, you're like, I'm still there. I could take this. But for your health, no.
Mm-hmm.
For our fans' sake, we want it. We want to see Izzy dead on the ground. There is some people, dude. There's some people that rally for that.
I was upset, dude, because I've been a big Izzy fan. So to see him go out like that.
What a story between these guys. And now he's going to get a rematch. Imagine losing to a guy 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's going to get the 4th shot. And you're beating him. Oh.
There's no way Pereira doesn't live in Izzy's head rent-free.
Oh, my God. I'm really interested to see Izzy's game plan and how he holds himself up for this rematch.
He better get a grappling coach. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to win in the stand-up department.
Yeah.
The guy came in and just... They said, hey, 5th round, turn it on, and he did.
Yeah. Which was really cool. And then he said something. I forget what it was, Jobins, but it translated to ready to kill or ready to something. And he said that going into the 5th round. He looks at Izzy across the octagon and says it. You can watch it. And he said, I'm ready to kill. So it was like, oh, my God. And his walkout's pretty cool. Just what this sport, there's nothing like it. And then the guys are all texting in the group chat about football and shit after all this has happened. And I'm like, who cares, man? Look what's going on in the UFC right now.
You know what else I just saw, too? Because I follow him on Instagram. Alex Pereira's sister is now fighting in the LFA. And she's tall as fuck, dude.
Didn't she lose?
She was only like a few inches. I don't know. I would have to check. But I was like, that's a big chick to be fighting.
I think maybe she did. Did she fight already?
I don't know. I'd have to find out.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, wow, man, genetics, like the family.
Yeah.
That guy's big.
Unfortunately, Jobins, we didn't get to do a little quick picks with the fights tonight. Derek Lewis versus.
Well, we can do the first one, right? The big one.
Just one. We'll just because we gotta go. So real quick, who do you got? Who's he fighting?
He's Sergey Spivak.
Yeah, I don't want Derek to lose 3 in a row. I want him to win.
He's getting knocked out. Sergey Spivak's knocking him out.
It's tough
because he got knocked out twice.
This is a tough fight. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we're right. I'm going Derek Lewis.
I'm going Sergey.
Thank you for watching, Jobins. New camera. We'll see how it turns out. We might experiment next pods with our phones, iPhones.
Yeah.
Because this flickering shit that you're seeing because of the frame rates and all that kind of shit. I'm going to try and see if I can figure it out. But thank you guys for watching. One love, Jobins. We'll see you next time. Have a good week.